You guys how to use Flash 8 Professional. See up there, Flash is an 8 over there. Anyways, so what you're gonna do is load up Flash, yeah, as I said, Flash 8, and go to create a new Flash document. Now my screen is a little small because I have to fit it to the YouTube window, but this right here is the Flash window. Right over here on the side you have your tools, down here you have your colors, your options, down here you have your properties and your action script, properties, size, that kind of stuff. Over here you have the color tab, library. Now over here it might look different for you because you can customize this part, and these are the only things I really use. But yeah, here is the timeline, and basically this is what controls your whole Flash. You have your layers here. Layers are basically, here I'll give you an example what a layer is, what a layer does. See, we have layer 1 here, right? Now if I draw a circle like that, okay, this is on layer 1, I drew a circle. Now I add a new layer, and see how layer 2 is above layer 1? If I, wait one sec, just let me change the color so you can see it easier. Okay, if I put a square here, see how it's over the circle? That's because layer 2 is over layer 1, and the circle is on layer 1 and the square is on layer 2. Make sense? Alright, cool. And I'm going to just show you how I change the colors. Color tab is over here. This is the fill of it. This is the inside, and this right here, this controls the outline of whatever object you're changing the color of. See, if I highlight this, go to here, change it to red. See how there's a red outline? Yeah, that's controlled by this. This controls the fill, that's the inside. Purple fill. Yep. Okay, now I'm just going to explain to you these tools real quick. This is the selection tool. This is the, you don't really use this tool, so I'm not going to explain it, there's no point. This would be the free transformation tool. It's used to scale the sizes of circles and such, like as I'm going to show you right now. Bigger, rotate. Whee! Alright. This right here is the gradient tool. Now, what it does is it controls where exactly the gradient is. I'm just going to select the gradient right there, fill it as a gradient. Okay, I'm going to show you what it does. When you click this, a little circle appears around it. Now, you could scale the gradient out a little bit more. You can scale it in so it's just there. You can rotate it if you want. You can make it smaller like that, rotate it. You can do whatever you want with it, and that pretty much is very useful if you're into gradient shading, stuff like that. This is the line tool. It's sort of self-explanatory. It makes a line. The lasso tool, what it does, if you're familiar with any graphics program, highlight something in your own way. You don't use a scaled thing like the selection tool. You don't go like that and do that. You can highlight whatever little thing you want. Say I wanted to highlight this circle, you can just go around in it like that, and it'll highlight it like that, but I did mine a little messy, as you can see. This would be the pen tool, just used to make pen lines, I guess. This is the text tool. That's very self-explanatory. Make text. Circle tool, rectangle tool. Now, what I just figured out recently about the rectangle tool is when you double click the rectangle tool, the settings appear. Now, what this does is okay, corner radius. So if I make it, say, 100, it'll make the corners rounder. It rounds the corners off for you. Now if I make it 999 and do that, it's sort of almost a circle. If you look at it, it just rounds the corners off for you. It's very useful if you're into designing Flash website layouts, stuff like that. Pencil tool, just blah blah, freeform. This is just pen, brush tool, yeah. Most of these other tools are self-explanatory, but if you're not familiar with graphics programs, I might as well show you just in case. This is a very basic tutorial. Fill tool, used to fill, blah, yeah. Eraser, to erase things, woo! Yeah, zoom tool, hand tool, blah 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 blah. Now, on to the more advanced things. Now, I'm going to show you basic frame by frame animation, how to do that. So as I said before, you have your timeline up here, your layers, you have, these are called frames. Each one of these things are called frames. Now, I'm just going to delete this layer really quick. How animation works is it goes through each frame and transforms it. It basically plays all the frames in a sequence and makes it so what's in each frame is on a whole different thing. So here, say I draw a circle like this, okay? To create a new frame, you can right click the next frame and insert a keyframe. There's a difference. A frame is just nothing. You can't draw in it, you can't do anything. It's just to make it so that this frame stays here. That's like extending the frame. Alright? And keyframe is basically making a duplicate of the frame before it. See? Now I have two circles. How you can tell that a frame is actually a keyframe instead of a frame is this little circle inside of it. See, right now it's a frame, a keyframe I mean, sorry, and now it's a frame. It has a little box with nothing in it. Blank keyframe, that's not duplicating the frame in front of it, that's just making it blank. There's nothing on the box, there's nothing. And yes, there's just clear keyframe, stuff like that, remove keyframe. Okay, so what you're going to do is create a keyframe. It duplicates the frame in front of it and move it a little bit to the side and keep doing that for about, what, 10 frames. Just keep moving it to the side, keep moving it to the side, right click, insert keyframe, move to the side. Let's just do 5 frames for now. Now you're going to go up to control, right here, control, and test your movie. What's going to happen is your circle is going to play through all the frames that you just made. It's going to make an animation. That's exactly what I did. I moved the circle through each frame, and it does that. I'm going to show you something really quick. This will help out your animation tons. It's called frames per second. It's how many frames your movie plays per second. So right now mine's at 12 frames per second. So each second it plays 12 frames. So my movie's not even a second long, so it doesn't play 12 frames, right? So what you're going to do is to make the animation smoother, you create the FPS higher to make it let's say choppier, or if you're making like other types of things. It all depends on what you're making. Like frame by frame I usually use 21 because that's a very smooth frame rate, very smooth, but you're gonna have to make more frames, right? Because if you have only 5 frames and it's moving like a lot per frame and it's playing 21 frames per second, think of it that way, 21 frames per second, and your movie's not even a second long, then it'll go really really fast, right? So you're gonna have to make more frames, more animation to make it really smooth. So let's just put it at 16 right now because our movie's not that lengthy and we didn't really make much frames. So here, see how it makes it a bit smoother and faster because we have less frames. Watch, I'll show you. 10 frames. See, it's sort of slow and choppy. You can see the chick chick chick. But if I make it 16, then it actually looks like it's moving smoothly. Bam, 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 right? Okay, so that's basic frame by frame animation. That's very basic frame by frame animation. Now what I'm going to teach you is something called motion tweening. Motion tweening is the act of moving one object to another place without you animating all those little things. So see how we had to move the circle each time, each frame? Now what we're going to do is just make one frame with the circle, right? And now what you're going to do is right click on frame, let's just say 20 for now, and insert a keyframe. That'll duplicate the layer. See, all of these layers are the same, right? And now what you do is you right click it, create motion tween. Okay, now it'll turn blue with a little arrow. Now click on the very last frame and move it all the way to the other side. So what we just did was we created a circle on frame 1, created a keyframe on frame 20, right click frame 1, insert create motion tween. Well, now it's removed because it's already there, but yeah, it'll make it blue with a thing, and then we moved this one over to here. And what that's going to do is that's going to animate all those frames and make a very smooth animation because it animates it for you.